Guys, I know I'm late on this topic because it just happened recently, but if you guys watched my videos regarding Will Smith, I told you guys that because of what happened at the Oscars when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, it was going to cause, further violent outrage attacks amongst or towards comedians going forward, and that comedians were no longer going to feel safe or be safe. And unfortunately, that prediction has manifested. We've already seen two different incidents of attacks against comedians. The first one was, kind of a verbal outrage from T.I. T.I., was verbally aggressive towards a comedian when she made some jokes about his wife. And we know where that stemmed from. He was basically, copying Will Smith. He saw Will Smith react to slap Chris Rock, and then now T.I. was responding in an aggressive way towards the comedian in that incident. Now we are seeing Dave Chappelle being attacked during his comedian performance. And we're going to see a lot more of these. Comedians out here are no longer safe because of the attack that Will Smith did. He has caused comedians to now be endangered during these shows. It's very unfortunate. But for the incident that happened at the Oscars, I do not believe the incident with Dave Chappelle would have happened. So let's just talk about what happened. So it was at the Hollywood Bowl performance. This happened about 2 days ago. There is some controversy surrounding Dave Chappelle. As you guys are aware, he has some Netflix shows and he does speak, he does some controversial jokes about, transgenders and the LGBTQ community. I don't believe he has any issues with those communities. I just think he makes jokes that can be offensive towards that community. That subject matter is a very sensitive topic, and it's just probably not a good idea to make any type of jokes towards that community because it's sensitive and you don't want to, tread on anybody's toes. But, Dave Chappelle does, he likes to make jokes. He doesn't have anything against that community. He loves, everyone the same. He just likes to make jokes. But like I said, it's very sensitive when you get on that topic. However, I do not believe that was the reason he was attacked. I believe there are people out there who are now emboldened to attack these comedians because of what Will Smith did. As I talked to you guys about, if you watch my prior two videos regarding Will Smith, that this was going to happen. And it is happening now. So it's so unfortunate because Dave Chappelle, I really like him as a comedian. I think he's pretty funny, even though he does, he does take some risky steps when he does his shows. However, it doesn't justify any violence. And I don't think the particular individual who is a rapper, he doesn't have any affiliations or ties to the LGBTQ community or, anything like that. He just wanted to make a name for himself. He is, an up-and-coming rapper apparently, and he wanted to get clout by attacking Dave Chappelle. And I believe he got that motivation and by what he saw from Will Smith. So, basically, that's what's going on in the case now. What basically happened, he was making jokes. Dave Chappelle was making jokes on the stand. He talked about, the controversial issues associated with the, the jokes he's made about the transgender community and LGBT community and, the reactions he's got and that, he believes he may need to get security. Why does he think that way? I don't think he would have ever said that but for the Will Smith incident. I'm telling you, that is really where all this is coming from. It is basically endangered a lot of these comedians, where I believe comedians at this point need to make it a point to have all of these performances, and there needs to be more security checks when individuals enter into the building. For this particular incident, the attacker had a replica gun, but it wasn't actually a real firearm. It was actually a knife. So the replica could unfold and turn into a knife. So Dave Chappelle could have lost his life. I don't understand why, after the incident happened with Will Smith, no one is responding in terms of amping up the security at these comedian events and amping up security, at the stage and everything like that. It should have already been a predictor that once they saw the incident with Will Smith, that comedians were no longer going to be safe. I don't understand why there was not, ample security at this event, especially because of the controversy surrounding Dave Chappelle and the fact that Will Smith has emboldened these individuals to now go out and replicate what they saw Will Smith do. And what's even more concerning is they're not just replicating what Will Smith did. They're not going and just doing a mere slap. They're actually coming for these comedians' lives. This man had a knife. He had a gun that actually unfolded as a knife. So he could have actually took Dave Chappelle's life. So this is just, it's very sad that this is happening, but it's happening because of the root issue with what happened with Will Smith. So the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office officially declined to pursue felony charges against the individual who attacked him was Isaiah Lee, who is accused of attacking Dave Chappelle during his Netflix joke stand-up comedian performance. The case has now reportedly been referred to Los Angeles City Attorney's Office for consideration of misdemeanor charges. I don't like that. First of all, I don't like that. This man had a knife. That to me is an attempted murder. I don't know how they, went from a felony charge, which it should have been, to a misdemeanor. I don't like that right there, because he already attempted murder on this guy's life by bringing a knife and going towards and attacking him. So I don't like the fact that they decrease the charges, because what this does when we minimize consequences, and that's the issue with California law. The reason why, and I'm in California, so I can talk about California. The reason why we're seeing high numbers of crime in California is because the laws are horrible. They completely minimize so much punishment as it relates to crimes in this state that it has caused an increase in crime. For example, they don't have the gang enhancements anymore. So what does that do? Emboldens gang members to continue to, engage in violence. Now they just filed charges in a recent gang shooting, and because there are 3 victims who passed away who were gang members and involved in the shooting, they're not pursuing charges for those victims that were killed, even though they're gang members. I get that they're gang members, but their lives still matter. And the fact that there's no accountability for that, and they're not even going to pursue charges, what's that going to do is create an incentive in gang members' minds to say, hey, as long as we kill other gang members, then we won't have any accountability. So that all that does is increase the crime as it relates to gang members. So I say all that because this happened in California. California laws are too lax. They're too lenient. This guy literally almost attempted to take Dave Chappelle's life, but for Dave Chappelle defending himself, he would not be here. And they have decreased the felony charges to a misdemeanor. So what is that going to do? When other criminals see this, that, oh, he's just going to get a misdemeanor, that is going to create an increase in more of these attacks, because there's not much accountability. That's the first issue I see in this article. So Netflix has issued a statement regarding the attack on Dave Chappelle on stage at the Netflix is a Joke Festival. It says, we care deeply about the safety of creators. We strongly defend the right of stand-up comedians to perform on stage without fear of violence. Okay, words don't matter. Again, they're using words, but what are you doing? The motto on my platform is be the change you wish to see in the world. What they need to do is they need to increase the security. If you're saying that you care about the safety of your comedians, why was there not sufficient security at this event? This should not even happen because of the fact that they should have anticipated that Dave Chappelle, being a comedian, was under danger given the issue with Will Smith. And he has basically caused so many of these individuals out here to be emboldened to attack comedians. It is what it is, and that's what's happening right now. So Dave Chappelle's rep, meanwhile, has provided a statement to The Hollywood Reporter. The performances by Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl were epic and record-breaking. He refuses to allow last night's incident to overshadow the magic of his historic moment. Oh, God. I don't even want to go into all this stuff, guys. So, okay, earlier, comedian Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage during his performance Tuesday night. So that was just 2 days ago, as part of the Netflix is a Joke Festival at Los Angeles Hollywood Bowl. The video footage, first shared by TMZ, shows a man rushing the stage and then tackling the stand-up comedian during his set. After the attack, the assailant then tries to run off stage before he is seemingly reprimanded by security personnel and members of Chappelle's own team. As a number of Chappelle's recent tour dates, attendees could not use their phones as they were sealed off in yonder devices, meaning they could hold on to them but not access them. Only designated phone use areas throughout the venue allowed access. Video footage does indicate the man was dragged away by security. And actually, he was taken away in an ambulance. So I think Dave Chappelle did defend himself pretty well. Good job, Dave Chappelle. But he shouldn't have to do that. I mean, he shouldn't have to. That's the thing that's frustrating me. He should not have to do that. Jokes are jokes. I don't think this has anything to do with the joke. So that's what I'm saying. The whole reason why this individual attacked Dave Chappelle was not because of the jokes, not because of the controversy surrounding Dave Chappelle. This rapper who attacked him, Isaiah Lee, I think his name is. I'm gonna go back up there. Isaiah something. We'll get back to his name. But him in particular, he's just a rapper. He has nothing to do with that community. He just wanted to make a name for himself because his music is not going well. So he thought, hey, I'm gonna go and attack Dave Chappelle because I've saw Will Smith do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and replicate and copy. But what ends up happening is they're not just copying by, and they shouldn't be doing this at all, but I'm saying they're not just going up there to slap the comedian. They're trying to take these comedians out because they were emboldened by what they saw Will Smith do. And it has nothing to even do with the jokes at this point. It's just to replicate what they saw. It is unacceptable. So the Los Angeles department brought a man into custody with a replica gun that can eject a knife blade when you discharge it correctly. So that's why I'm frustrated with the charges in this crime to just a misdemeanor. Just because he was not able to use the knife does not mean that he did not make an attempt to take Dave Chappelle's life. So I don't understand why they're just like, oh, well, since he didn't succeed in the crime, we're going to go ahead and decrease the charges to misdemeanor. That is unacceptable on the part of the justice system. Other videos emerging show the attacker climbing onto the stage, and later after the attack, Chappelle falling to the ground, though he was not physically harmed. NBC News reports that the attacker was a member of the audience. The attacker was taken to the hospital with superficial injuries after being detained. In video to emerge after the attack, Chappelle shouted out to Jamie Foxx, who apparently helped intervene amid the chaos. Whenever you're in trouble, Jamie Foxx will show up in a sheriff's hat, said Chappelle in a video of the show to emerge later. Foxx joked that he thought it was part of the show. After the incident, as seen in the video, Chris Rock came on stage following the unprovoked incident and joked, "Was that Will Smith?" And see, the reason why, I mean, and this is a pivotal statement, because the reason why he's saying that basically is saying this incident is a replica behavior stemming from Will Smith. It is the same fact, somebody coming on stage attacking a comedian. And why is this? Because of what Will Smith did. So a lot of people are defending Will Smith, saying, oh, great, he defended his wife and whoop-de-whoop-de. I understand he defended his wife, but that is not the proper way to do it. He is a leader in this society. People look up to him as a leader. And because of what he did, it has emboldened these individuals to go out and physically attack comedians. And it has caused a dire safety concern for comedians. So that's why I've been saying we need to hold, celebrities accountable when they make misjudged calculations like this, because it only endangers other individuals in the long run, because people look up to these celebrities. They do. They look up to them as role models, and what they see them do is what they will replicate. So this is just very sad that now comedians have to take safety measures because their lives are at danger at this point. Reports including a Variety and The Hollywood Reporter indicate that Chappelle, after the attack, joked it was a trans man. This is a reference to the controversy surrounding his 2021 Netflix special, The Closer, which drew criticisms from the LGBTQ community alleging transphobic attacks. The issue led to a staff walkout in October 2021. And I don't think it has anything to do with that at all, because like I said, this rapper is not even related to that community at all. I think he just wanted to make a name for himself and get attention, because he wanted to copy what he saw Will Smith do. He thought he was going to make a name for himself, because clearly his rapping career is not going too well. Per reports, a spokesperson for the Hollywood Bowl told the PA Media News Agency that an investigation of the Hollywood Bowl incident is underway. Oh, whatever. I don't even like the way they've responded to this investigation, because like I said, they're not really taking the matter serious. So that's the attack there, as you guys can see. He basically bum rushed Chris Rock like a football player. It's like he's tackling him like he's a football player, as you can see here. And that's with a lot of force. I mean, this was not just, okay, like a mere slap. What these individuals do is they'll take an incident that happened with Will Smith, where he did slap Chris Rock, was still unacceptable, and they will amplify that even further by even more brutal attacks. This man went and basically attacked Dave Chappelle like he was a football player and was tackling him in a, basically intercepting the ball or something in a football play. Unacceptable. And then this man had a knife on top of that. So that's what I'm saying. This incident, and we're going to see a lot more of these at this point. Comedians are no longer safe because of what Will Smith did. It's going to have a negative future effect on comedy shows from here out, and there needs to be an increase in security at the doors. There needs to be an increase at the stage, more so. A lot of these comedians cannot, basically feel safe at these events as they used to. And it even will kind of dictate how they make their jokes at this point because of what happened stemming from the Will Smith incident.
This morning, questions as to how an attacker got on stage during Dave Chappelle's Los Angeles comedy show. The man rushing the stage, tackling Chappelle, then running behind a screen, security in pursuit.
Highland Avenue at the Hollywood Bowl. Suspect was armed with a gun and a knife and for additional.
The suspect, identified as 23-year-old Isaiah Lee. Police say he had a replica gun that was actually a folding knife, which he did not use.
I was backstage, watching it backstage with the rest of the guests that came down to support Dave. And then all of a sudden we look on the screen and then we just see a guy attacking.
Lee is an aspiring rapper who named a song after Chappelle, but it's unclear why he would rush the stage. One comedian at the show surmising the onstage tackle was all a stunt.
He's looking for attention. He's not making noise with his music, so he decides, you know what, I'm going to plan this out, and I'm going to be famous this week.
The attack came just moments after Chappelle spoke about needing more security since coming under fire for jokes he made about transgender people.
It was a trans man.
Chris Rock, who had performed earlier, came back on stage to lighten the mood.
Was that Will Smith?
Referencing the slap by Will Smith at the Oscars. Chappelle was performing at a Netflix comedy festival, and Netflix says security is handled by the venue, in this case, the Hollywood Bowl. It's now discussing security protocols for future events. Chappelle's representative saying, as unfortunate and unsettling as the incident was, Chappelle went on with the show. The attack suspect, Isaiah Lee, was booked on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon. His bail was set at $30,000.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
So that's the reason why you guys heard me, talk so much about the Will Smith incident and how it really concerned me regarding the conduct that he did initially, because the facts are that celebrities are role models in our country. What they do does set a future stage for how other individuals in our country act. And is it right or is it wrong that, individuals, base their performance upon behavior upon what they see celebrities do? No. But the fact is, when you are given a platform of fame, you have a certain responsibility in terms of how you behave and conduct yourself. And with reactions like this, using violence only amplifies and endangers other individuals. So this is so sad that now in the comedian community, we will no longer see the normalcy of just being able to make jokes at these shows. These comedians now have to live in fear. These comedians now have to increase their security. These comedians now have to modify and censor the things that they say out of fear for their lives. Because what these individuals do, they're not just going to merely replicate what Will Smith do. They are going to take it up a notch. They are going to try to come for these people's lives because these individuals don't have much going on in their lives. and they want attention. A lot of these individuals have mental, things going on mentally with them. Maybe they've had, prior violent issues in their lives, or they're just, long time criminals. Some of these are long time criminals that have long criminal records of just violent issues in their life, that they have been doing all of their life. And now they feel like they have a platform because they saw Will Smith go and use violence towards a comedian. Now they feel they can use that and replicate that as a form to gain their own fame, attention, and to gain their own clout. And it's very sad and it's very unfortunate. But that's the reason why I was just telling you guys the importance of we have to hold individuals who have fame and celebrity status accountable for the choices they make, because they can lead to dire, dangerous situations down the line in our community. And now our community, our comedians are no longer safe. So just keep Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. I don't know the name of the lady who was affiliated with the Ti incident, but at least Ti didn't engage in violence, but he just kind of was verbally aggressive towards the comedian. But just keep them in your prayers, keep comedians in your prayers. We probably will see a lot more of this. I don't know when it'll ever cool down at this point. I just don't think comedians at this point are safe. I think they just have to move differently, speak differently, act differently because of the Oscar incident. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Like, comment, and subscribe.